is not looking good for PDGA if that dude's not going on a fucking interview.
Welcome to the Spin Out. I'm Jefferson, alongside me as always, the one with all the holes in his game, Swiss Cheese, and we're jumping straight into things because we just talking about it. And you said you want to do this, and this is what we're doing. The announcement that Doug Bjerkis, president of the PDGA, was supposed to go on Staggered Stance to talk about
The drug screening.
Not only that, but did they have the document coming out Wednesday or something?
Yeah, they were supposed to have an announcement on Wednesday, alluding from the, I'll call it reporting. I don't know what,
what Staggered announced.
Yeah, so Staggered.
That's what they did.
Right. So on Staggered Stance, they announced that there should be a announcement by the PDGA on Wednesday.
Big old announcement is what it's referred to.
Came and passed. Mm-hmm. Even said like, hey, any pros considering not playing the event, wait for this announcement. Was like at one point. I was like, all right, that's a pretty big deal. And then also alluded to having Bjerkis on today. And the fact that there's not is really kind of telling to obviously the situation that's still developing around the drug screening.
More developments will come this week on all of that, and leading up to Worlds, there will be plenty of conversations. Yeah. But at least no one's like panicking out loud about it. And no one's come out. At least that's probably not gonna be something in public. But.
I think like PDGA is in a mad scramble right now. In all honesty, I hope so for sure. But like. I'm sure everything's developing, communications, discussions.
Well, not only that, how much involvement do they have with the European festival that's going to go down and all of the grass no longer being there? I'm sure that has to be something that is a problem that they're needing to fix ASAP.
That one.
There's literally no grass anywhere.
No, it's pretty wild.
I don't know. Actually, Tony from Disc Golf Fanatic shared the picture.
They already got hay down, right?
From the advert, from the journal's article, whatever that I saw, they did say that only 4 holes were in critical condition.
Oh, okay. That's not
I think that it'll.
And I thought I saw photos that they had hay down and like they're already.
I'm sure everything they possibly do.
So Estonia is gonna throw. They know the importance of this, and they're gonna kind of do what they need to do. So. And we'll see. And it's also like could be a giant nothing burger. Like,
but it also was this huge festival for Estonia. So obviously it was already being talked about, and I think it's still continuing to rain. I don't think it's stopping anytime soon, which also could be the danger.
Yeah, and they got 2 weeks.
Might just be sloppy.
2 weeks.
Less than 10 days.
Whew. Yeah, because they're still in Norway with Krokle.
They have Krokle, and then they go into it, week off, and then baby, we are in Finland.
I know, that's why.
It's so scary. Did you see UC's big old Instagram where he was talking about in 4 weeks the World Championships will be over, and then he like went and just a paragraph about, I think it was like the love of disc golf or something. That was cool. It just showing that this world is going to be something next level.
I sincerely hope they have some type of production similar to what they had for Champions Cup for European.
You would think so. For the world's biggest disc golf event ever.
I surely hope so, because that thing could be just incredible. And man, UC deserves a ton of credit.
Hall of Famer,
dude. Yeah, Hall of Famer. Well deserved. Absolutely. What he's done and changed the game, incredible.
It's kind of lame that the Hall of Fame speak didn't get a whole lot of conversation. It's really hidden. There's not much about it.
Yeah.
I only knew about it because I was in your video. I was like, oh, Hall of Fame happened? No.
I think it is cool to be able to be in the Hall, enter the Hall of Fame for your work that's not necessarily professional. Like, you know what I mean? Like course building, stuff like that's incredible.
And it deserves to be recognized.
Yeah,
there is so much more to the sport other than just professional.
No, we should never lose that as much as like I understand like the optics of what every other Hall of Fame is. There's still categories, but like people lean towards the pro. No, we should keep it.
Well, I don't even know. Is this PDGA? Adjacent? Okay.
I believe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now you looked at me. You made me second.
I don't know. I know there's like criteria and stuff. Where they like follow the same suit, or if this was a separate organization.
It would be interesting to know the criteria. Like I'm sure there's got to be like some type of years or stuff. I'll have to look that up. I gotta check my odds. Clock's ticking. We need to turn around this boat real fast.
We got that. This past weekend, we had the PCS Open over in Norway, and it was a fun event. It was early in the morning for MPO starts off at 8 a.m., which is a complete shift of what is typical. And I don't know if I enjoy it or not. I'm not a morning person.
You aren't.
So
He is definitely not a. I don't mind it.
Start off your day.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, some disc golf action.
Absolutely.
Then go and play your round afterwards. I see the benefit.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, is having to be, instead of finding like that money spot of like, the problem is you lose FPO, but instead of finding like the money spot between FPO and MPO to get a round in, we're like, cool, I get to go right after.
I will say I paid more attention to the Masters World Championships.
I get it.
I'm not gonna lie on that one, guys. Shout out to Adam Hammis, the homeboy. It was exciting over there. I love Blue Ribbon. I love that course so much. And I watched coverage of it, and Paul did his magic.
That's crazy because if you watch Sula, like you have like the fjords and shit.
I don't even think it's
back.
called Sula anymore. By the way,
PCS Sula.
I think they took the Sula out.
Did they take the Sula out?
I think they took the Sula out.
Oh man. You get one Elite Series and you fucking.
It's gone.
I thought the logo said Sula.
Maybe I'm just saying that.
But
no
anyways,
longer says it right there.
But yeah, like you got the fjords and like everything in the background. Like that course just looks nuts.
It does.
Dude.
You just
like
look
you're
over.
just like holy, like insane.
And I'm not much to really go into the scoring separation conversation all that much ever. I don't dabble my toes in, but right now I think I might, because you always hear from talking heads of how this is so important. And then I look down the list and there's 9,000 people tied at third place. And then it's one more stroke and I got like, I don't know. I don't know if because of how beautiful it is that a lot of that gets lost and then we start critiquing it less on that side of the game. Or maybe people are just like, hey, if America courses looked prettier, then we would complain less. I don't know what the deal is.
It hasn't had those like years of repetitive coverage. PCS is starting to get there because
it does have iconic shots too.
Yeah.
Yes, you look out and you see the big ass mountain in the water.
Yeah.
You have the gates.
The gates, dude. The gates play.
Why is that never gets called gimmicky? But all of a sudden you say someone
right.
throw some bamboo in the ground, and all of a sudden it's fucking mini golf out there.
Mozzarella sticks all out there. Yeah, dude, you're kind of right.
I think that also does, because I've always said if you can do artificially added like assets like that, but you make them look nice, people don't complain.
You classy it up.
So
you
classy it can be done.
Up. Yeah,
a big rubber duck in the pond is possible, guys. That's all I'm trying to say.
I love Winthrop, but those gates beat.
Yeah. Oh,
like come on,
hands down. It helps when you do have everything else attached to it, rather than you just look around. When you go to Winthrop and it's not covered, you're like, oh yeah, it really is a college.
It's just a
right
fence. It's just a random fence right here. Yeah, that's kind of odd. Even my wife, when I force her to watch coverage, because it is like I'll make breakfast. We have breakfast, and she watched it. Yeah, and then she's like, this course looks nuts. She's just like, wow. Like
the European courses do have that effect. And you hear that from most professionals when they come back, is just raving about the course. I mean, they're playing the #1 disc golf course in the world according to UDisc this weekend.
Yep.
Shout out the boys over at Krokol. People say it, and I don't say it right. I know that. But it's going to be exciting to see that being played, if it really does hold true to being the best course, if we see pros saying that. I'm excited for it.
Did you listen to the drives on the tee, the music they play? Like, are you for that?
It's
like a
I'm
weird.
Indifferent. I don't really care too much. Like, if it was happening, dope. If it wasn't, also cool.
Okay, I'm a fan. I don't know why. It's like a weird droney, like mystic thing.
It makes sense for a Scandinavian country.
Yeah, I will say though, if I sat on one the entire time, I don't know if I'd like it that much.
You get annoying.
Like it's kind of like, all right, you cut it, you lose it, and then all of a sudden it's back. But like if I was sitting there, I'd be like, all right, guys, let's hit the skip button and move to the second play track. But other than that, I think it was kind of cool. I think it's better than like walk-ups.
Getting to pick whatever song you want.
Yeah, because man,
you can't even do that. Copyright will get at people and all that.
Yeah, and like you're also gonna like only like maybe 5 pros will be like, oh, that was clever.
Yeah,
like everybody else is gonna do something weird.
Did you see the breakdown of the leaderboard afterwards? I can't ever pronounce European names. So Maio, Miio.
Yeah,
he's a junior player.
Yeah, dude.
Second, which is wild.
And also like supposedly has like I saw somewhere, I didn't confirm it, but also supposedly has like no social media.
Great.
But
that'll actually be very interesting to see down the line, because eventually in United States professional disc golf, there was, I would say around COVID time, the emphasis on players needing social media. Like you can't go into a contract anymore without having a social media presence for US. At least I think so. All the conversations we like hear behind the scenes is this person got this because of their content, and I got X amount of money because I don't do this. And if European disc golf does not do that and they just go off of these random kids that are popping off,
skill and marketability, because they're like, they got larger companies
And then you
funding,
think
so it's
that-
basically just pure marketing instead of like whether they can edit their own YouTube videos.
exactly. And I would
like
love
our
to see
disc golf
it-
companies demand of them.
And I would love to see if European companies then realize the importance of marketing their players on their own and seeing jobs pop up on. Like, that's what's missing right now. You see, the MVP does a great job with getting their own practice rounds, posting additional content. Discraft's starting to do it too with extra stuff. And if a company went out of their way to actually pay for, you know, what Simon's doing, but you don't even need to do that. Just more one person does a broad sense of like your team, how much more perception and how many people would know players more, and just what you can sell more than just discs. And even though discs would move just as much too, if all of a sudden you know, like MVP, for example, how many people know Jennifer Smiley just because she's part of a practice round when maybe you would never hear about her from her play.
You're right. There should be more of that. I think MVP does it. I think Latitude does a decent job of it. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily do like the practice rounds, but the commercials and the videos they do together like works.
Yeah, and that shows a difference. Like the funny commercials with Kristin show a different level you would never get to see from the fierce competitor on the course.
That's gonna and I think also what will be interesting between the American and European dynamic is, like, you're right, you need the social media, doing videos. Basically, if we're being honest, and turning another revenue stream, right? Like, if we're being real. And while the European pros, because of the growth of it over there, is going to be looking at PR and like taking schooling on that and like reverbing on that and being able to do interviews and being marketable, and like, so it'll be interesting to see the dynamics of the like sports shift that way. It's kind of odd. And I think it's already there. And you see, like, man, some of those pros in Europe, they got car sponsorships. They're riding in their own whips.
How soon are they going to get bigger, better sponsorships from over there where they're making more money than the U.S. players? Because they're getting the outside the sport sponsorships. Maybe it's not all of them, but soon when they become more household names through personalities, through just doing more national stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to butcher him, and he's our boy. Tomas.
He fucking cashed, bro. He cashed.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah. But even like he's got like almost, I think he's got 30K plus on YouTube, where you can see that there is a market for these European disc golfers, and it's still so untapped. As soon as that, because everything we hear is disc golf in Europe is next level. It's taken so much more seriously. And as soon as it catches up to the play, to companies understanding how to like market and do all the video stuff, could be game changing.
Hey, and I'm not gonna lie, like we go on the Reddit forums.
Yeah,
I enjoy seeing Europeans like express how much better their product is. I really do. Keep it up, because that's the only way our stuff's gonna get better. Also, like, whether it's the, you know what I mean, whether it's the production, the commentary, whatever. Like, I love seeing it, and I enjoy it. And the best part is, it's also getting to the point where, like, there's a far less fighting about it. Like, it's kind of like,
I think people are willing to accept it.
Yeah, like, you're right.
You're seeing the courses, you're seeing the coverage, and it's emulating what more people want, being that professional.
Yeah.
I can see it taking over. Now over on the FPO side of the PCS Open, we're going to talk about, was it a choke? It's what everyone wants to talk about.
Kristin cooked is what everyone's going to be talking about. Kristin cooked.
Went into the final day with the lead and then shot a +2 final day, well below her rating, 933, and losing by 3 strokes.
Losing, what I think was it, 7 or 8 strokes in 6 holes, or 6? No, I think it was 8 strokes in 7 holes.
Double bogey 6, bogey 7, bogey 9. In the same time, Evelina is picking away at birdies, climbing up the leaderboard. 7 down, took it down. Evelina, though, this is what she does. Recently, she's been showing that she can put together a tournament better than anybody else.
Hey,
we can't even talk about her putting being so bad. She can miss 10 putts in a round and still come out as a dub.
What we do need to recognize is Evelina would have never done what she did on the second day. She was posting it, selfieing it, laughing about it. We had never seen that in a previous Evelina like performance.
She feels comfortable out there.
Exactly. Like, she's won everything. Like, let's be real. Like, she has every major tournament under her belt. Like now it's just padding stats at this point, right? Like, and she's one of the dominating off the tees, and she knows if she puts it together. So I think that there is like a little bit of that ease, and there's like a lack of pressure on her almost. Now that she's won 3 in a row, we'll see if that kind of gets a little bit louder. But like, nah, man, everyone acknowledges she's the best off the tee, hands down. And the putt is looking more confident, and it's at a higher percentage, and she's winning.
Are you worried about Kristin Latt at this point?
I'm worried more on the mental game. She had the hot round of the tournament. She was at 1100 before she triple bogeyed on round 1. You know what I mean? This looked like, all right, she got right. Like this looks like I'm going to shut everyone down. Let me take down this event, and we'll coast into Worlds and do our thing. And it looked that way. And this was just another level. Like we haven't seen this from her. You know what I mean? And we can't, at the same rate, we also can't, like, let's be real. This storyline was reversed just last year at European. Evelina had the big lead, lost it. Everyone said she choked, did this, did that. We can't treat Evelina the same and not Kristin on this same instance.
That's fair.
Like, she didn't perform. She had a huge lead. She should have won, and she didn't, and she knows it. So, and I don't necessarily think this is like a form issue, a timing issue. Like, I don't think, maybe a lingering health or a health issue. We don't know, but I think a lot of it's just mentally. I think that's all. And then it's like, that's the one thing, like, we'll acknowledge, like, as hard as it's to believe, like, all these pros play, like, their job is to play. I mean, they're out there on the course all the time. So it's like difficult to comprehend, like, losing that when you play as frequently as you do. But like when you're not mentally right, it's bad for a while. Like it takes a lot to get out of it. And like, we'll see. She's got a few weeks. Maybe some home cooked meal would do some good. She's going to get the support there. And I think she comes out.
She went on Instagram to post after where there was no excuses. There was no complaint about the toe injury or anything like that. It was just in, out, learned some things, lost it. She's going to come back better than ever, I think. World Championships and majors is where she could play strong. Say the same thing about Evelina right now, which makes me very excited that we're going to see some sort of battle. I would love nothing more than an Evelina Kristin battle down the stretch. Kind of reigniting that. You can make a more storyline out of that World Championship last year. And that's what we're trying to see.
A few weeks ago, talking about how Silva's going to be it. And then a few weeks prior, it was Hanley.
We should have a ton of names in there.
Yeah.
It should be dope for an FPO World Championship.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Before too.
I'm rooting for the best matchup, but it definitely feels like a title's going to still stay in Europe for, the 4th year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my prediction. I think it's going to be one of those 3. The bombshell that I'm really hoping for, Henna.
That would be awesome.
That would be just so.
That would be awesome.
That'd be no different than what happened with Evelina winning Worlds. Is like, let's shut it all down, take a World. You'll never take this away from me.
Yeah, Henna hasn't won anything equivalent to Evelina has that though. She's won majors before. She's won Elite Series before. Henna coming out of nowhere in Europe, balling out at a World would be sick.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be like one of the storylines I hope for. Just like everyone just be like, what?
If she just puts together a good putting round, or fuck it, she just balls out on the
balls
tee
out everywhere else.
Yeah,
where it's just like tap-ins.
Yeah, that would be sick. Dude. Coming back from just the horrible putting performances we've seen recently. Oh, that would be so sick. Moving over to a different major that just went down this weekend, and I'm gonna basically harp on something like this every time there's a PDGA non-professional major because no one else is gonna fight for it. So someone's gotta do it. I just feel as if there is a better way to communicate to the massive amount of PDGA members who don't fall in the pro category. Because, yes, there is coverage of the top people playing. And, yes, I do think that's super necessary. I think it's interesting to watch. It got me to watch, after all, because you have storylines finally in the Masters division. You're seeing past World Championships. You're seeing Hall of Famers in there. And I think that this, more than ever, you're getting a competitive field. However, in order to fill that tournament up, you still need the casual fans. And there isn't just MP40, there's MP50, there's MP55, there's whatever the age divisions, and also on the FPO side. And I feel as if you should want to get as many of them there as possible. And you're doing no way form of marketing to get to these people. If you just go watch those coverage, you have no idea that there's a weekend of, or just a week full of just disc golf activities, because it's not just play around done. They have the random ass shit that you have them go down, hang out. It's an event for disc golf fans, just nerd out for the week, experience something. And you don't do anything to showcase that. And I feel as if there was some effort to show that not only at Masters events, but more importantly, the juniors events.
Juniors especially.
The collegiate stuff that you're going to eventually have. All of that is what you need people in their face. You need them to actually see what's going on, what they're missing out on to get people there in the first place.
Yeah.
And you're missing out on that. And I understand the coverage is important. It's dope. But even when you look at those views, it's like, okay, we could do something different.
No, you're right. I think getting it, yeah, man, just
when I say that, I would love to be a part of the people that do something different. Yeah. Not even asking for money. We're just asking for help. Like, literally just be like, hey, be a part of this. Help out. Ask for an idea. What can we do? We'd love to throw our ideas out there. I think they'd be really good. I do.
I, for one, am for sale. So
I would know our foot in the door before I start asking for money. You know?
I'm not just saying for PDGA. I just wanted to be clear out there.
Everyone, yeah.
For sale. We'll be in Finland a couple weeks. Hit me up. Anyway, no, I think there should be a change. And we fall into the same line of like, this is how we cover it. This is what we knew. I know they've done a little bit of storytelling, but like, and I think what PDGA has done it good is like they're pretty good on like their shorts and like their reels and stuff. But like, let's be real, people have to be subscribed and on it. You got to get stuff out there that will draw attention to other stuff. You know what I mean? And like posting it, showing it. And man, some of that stuff sells. Like, let's be real. Like PDGA Juniors, like writes itself. It's kids playing disc golf. Like you can sell that. Like that's wholesome. That's camaraderie. You know, like
to me, there needs to be a package video that's like 10 minutes long or nothing longer than that, where you can show why it's important to get your kid at one of these events.
Absolutely.
Why is that? At least from as far as I know, I have not seen anything like this. I could totally be missing it. I just don't feel like I am. But like, I just don't see promotional stuff like that out there.
No, that's true.
And I think that's a problem. I will say this too. It's not just a PDGA on this problem. It's a disc golf issue that's always, for some reason, been there. Like right now, how much advertisement? You know, there's Crocol match play.
Yeah, I did know that.
Okay, yeah, you
should know that. We are supposed to know that, right? But yes,
nobody else is talking about it. No one's worried about the match. I mean, do you know the matchups? Don't even pretend like you do. Don't even give it honest.
I might be able to get one or two, but like
overall,
I
you don't know why they're important, what skills they're going up against, even Crocol, the course itself, like the previewing of anything or what we're doing, and you see it from all the other organizations, because I don't want to call anyone out, but the lack of communication or just showing what you're doing, promotion is insane, because you're trying to sell something at the end of the day. Even if it is just get someone to watch a video, that is your way of getting paid. You just want that in front of as many people as possible.
You think?
I do think that. That is an often thought I have.
Hey, I got an idea. What if we sponsor a college team?
What would they need? What do you envision them needing?
I don't know, man. I just want a cool group that like
just want to party with some frat dudes.
Yeah, like I want to
drink a beer.
No, nothing like that. But like, I think there just needs something additional on it. Like, you know what I mean? You got
if there's a
Melton,
college,
you got McCabe. I'm just throwing something out there.
If there's a college team out there that needs help getting jerseys, and you can get a quote out there, you put the Disc Golf World logo on it, you put your college team out there, we can pay for some jerseys. As long as they're like reasonable. We don't got a whole lot of money. But just saying, I'd be down for that.
I think it'd be cool.
Maybe I hit up my old team.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys get $200.
We will promote you. Yeah, man.
I think there's such an untapped market of college disc golf that we get in the beginning. If they become more structured in what they're doing in like the top 10-ish, whatever, and there's actual things to cover other than just the national championship, it would be really interesting. Because I would just tell them like, hey, your job now is to get your caddies to fucking record your coverage, and then we'll talk about it.
There's a lot to overcome with the college championship, like the format, the like, it's doubles, it's singles, it's like there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like if you could tighten that package up a little bit, make it more palatable, and then do the qualifying regional thing.
Yeah, you almost need to just have it separated of the like the national, like the championship thing. Is that can be its one thing, but then you have X amount of teams or in regions that are actually play against each other in some way, so you keep track with that in a better way. I don't know. There's, like I said, untapped market of something that could be done, and the more you see, it's no longer just going to be college kids are like, oh, what's disc golf? I'm going to join this club. It's going to eventually be, hey, I've been playing disc golf since I've been 8 years old, and I throw 600 feet, and I want to be competitive, and there's going to be scholarships attached to it, and then all of a sudden, it's going to be something huge. And we know you, Sullivan. I'm thinking your first name on who does this stuff. I would love to work with you eventually. Everyone, I would love to work with you guys. Just if you get one thing from this video, we will work, we will collaborate, we will do cool things. We want to do cool things in the disc golf world. I think that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Spit Out. You good with that?
Yeah. Shout out to Amos. I don't. He's our boy.
Mm-hmm. Those Omen. Shout out our boys this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they killed it. So both of them killed it. What a win for Amos. 2 now on the season. That's pretty. It's a good year, man. Sneaky good. He's also in like the top 10 in points. Like Amos is having a sneaky great year. And it's no longer sneaky.
Just a good year.
Yeah, good for him. That's sick. But good. No, that's it. I think we just kind of glossed over it. Like, yeah, Amos won.
Yeah, we had an interview before this that we're going to start maybe doing another series on the channel. So this is a little less organized than it would like to be. But
true.
We live and we learn. We press record. We do a podcast. That's my best.
This is the easiest part of doing a podcast. We're not writing anything, so we're just like spit.
We just talk about because you know if you want a better recap of what happened, just watch yesterday's video. It's that simple, guys. Really is. All right, we'll check you out in the next one. Peace.